All right, here we are, episode number 23 of Not Enough Thumbs. Welcome back, and today we're going to be reviewing the film
Terror on the Prairie from 2022.
Today's sponsor is Once Upon a Co-op. So, this is a Daily Wire exclusive film, and it took us a little while to watch it, and we finally decided to, and this is the first Western I have watched in a really long time. I guess maybe since Tombstone. It's not really my genre of choice to go to, but
Mine neither.
I appreciated this one. I appreciated the brutality in the film. They didn't hold back, so it gave you kind of a sense of how things could have been a long time ago. They actually scalped somebody on screen. I can't remember the last time I saw something that grotesque, probably since Mel Gibson's film Apocalypto, which showed human sacrifice pretty graphically. They took a no-holds-barred approach with this film when it comes to that, and this family is essentially not necessarily hunted down, but you got insta-grudge going on with these outlaws wanting to take on Gina Carano's and her family throughout the whole film. So that's pretty much what it's about.
The thing that really got me was that the outlaws seemed to have been stalking them because they knew as soon as the husband had gone on a long trip and wouldn't be back for a while, and that's when they took advantage of the timing and went to the home of the guy. The movie made it seem like it was just coincidence that the husband was out of town, but I kind of feel like different things that they were kind of watching and kind of knew when he wasn't going to be around.
And then they just showed up.
And Gina Carano's character, I forget what her name was in the movie, but she kind of sensed that there was something wrong with them, something that wasn't right, that wasn't honest, and she stuck with her intuition, and I think that's what inevitably saved them, because she instantly fought them and fought hard and was able to keep them at bay.
She certainly didn't make it easy for them. There were 4 of them out to get her. They were pretty intelligent. I mean, they were careful with her, and they may have underestimated her in the beginning.
She kind of took out a couple of them pretty early on too. She eliminated a couple of the characters, and it ended up that she found out they were after her husband all along. They had a vendetta against him because of something that they had thought he had been guilty of in the past. They thought that he had killed the daughter of the head outlaw, but it was not that he intentionally killed her to hurt them. She was a casualty of war, basically.
I finally remembered what I was going to say. In the beginning, when they're all introduced to each other, she invited them into her home, and she served them up some breakfast at the table. You just don't bring strangers into your house, especially today.
Well, if you consider the time frame that the movie was set in, though, that was kind of a commonplace thing to do.
Very different.
If you saw somebody who looked like they had been traveling a long way,
and they were in hungry, the middle of nowhere,
right, then that was kind of commonplace. You would invite them in, and that was hospitality kind of thing. Where now, that's not so much the thing to do. You want to make sure you know people before you really go inviting them in intimately with your family, especially a newborn baby like she had.
Oh, that's right. Babies make it tough in these movies. I was always amazed by the baby when the baby was first introduced in The Walking Dead, and somehow they survived.
I'm glad. I hate it when kids die in movies. It instantly becomes my least favorite movie.
Yeah, I feel the same way, and they have 2 young kids in this film.
Both survive.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Sorry, I already said it.
Anyway, so I mean, it was like he said before, it was a gruesome movie. It was pretty bloody, gory in some parts, but
and a little bit slow.
A little bit slow.
The plot moved a little bit slow, and I think what really emphasized that was the lack of soundtrack, which I think was to its advantage, and the location, which was in the middle of nowhere. So they really put you there, I think. So I think it was a good move on them to leave out the soundtrack.
So what would you rate this movie?
I'd give it a 7. It's pretty good. Daily Wire starting to hit up the entertainment side of things, not just political commentary. So I hope they keep it up. Did I rate it? Did I say 7?
You did. I like the idea of the movie, but I just don't care for Westerns. So I'm probably going to rate it a 5 out of 10.
Westerns are still not my favorite. They're not my go-to, but I would sit through some. I think they called them spaghetti westerns, and I'm still not sure what that means. But I would probably sit through a few John Wayne films or Clint Eastwood films from my childhood and just check them out just to see what they're about.
Well, keep watching. You may see some reviews on those later. Thanks for listening to episode 23 of Not Enough Thumbs. See you later.